That sounds mean you're back on the air with the Restaurant Brokers, Eric and Robin Gagnon. We are here to take you on Restaurant Reality each week.
That's right, Eric. It's part of our commitment to serve up a recipe for business success that we will take on those tough topics in the industry and serve up the unbridled truth. So today we have been talking with some really fantastic guests about equipping restaurants. We had the editor-in-chief of Food Service Equipment and Supplies. We also had two different food service suppliers, and they had some very amazing comments.
You're right about that, Robin. One of the first thing I think when it comes down to the reality of the business is the difference in the sticker shock price between new and used equipment. The price quoted today by Nick to outfit a new restaurant was $350,000 to $400,000, and that's before you pay the electrician, bring the right amps, bring the space, the plumbing, the gas lines, the refrigeration lines, waters, sewers, all that stuff to the space.
And it is really amazing as you think through what that brand new restaurant costs to get a shiny new kitchen. But the sad reality is you'll build this fabulous kitchen and it becomes like a car. The minute you drive it off the lot, the price immediately drops when it comes down to resale. And that's the reality of the restaurant business, right?
Yeah, and if you think 2/3, you're pretty close. You're roughly going to get about 30% of what your initial cost. So if you spend $400,000 in a restaurant, you'll be doing very well. And depending on your market, depending how old it is and everything, to get about $120,000. And that's on the optimistic side. So it varies by state, by cities, there's a lot of other factors to consider. But you got to look at your investment here and say, wow, if I'm not going to be successful, this is a big hit that you're going to take. And that's what these guys said today. You need to know where you're going. You have to have a plan. You need to know where you grow up. And you need to put a lot of thought into just like, hey, I'm going to go to the next auction and buy me a bunch of used equipment. Is that correct?
Yeah, and there is a savings to be had by going and getting used equipment, but then the time and the effort and just getting those contractors to show up when they're supposed to. I mean, who's called a plumber lately that actually gets there? And getting all that assembled. I mean, I had a woman recently who went on a bit of a diatribe with me about she could just, put her own restaurant together, and we started literally walking through the numbers. And by the time you looked at her time and the effort in assembling all this used equipment and then meeting everybody on site, doing the permitting and everything up, the upside is you can just simply buy a ready-to-go restaurant, something we have for sale that's a resale, much, much cheaper and more efficiently than going through all that. Isn't that correct?
Yeah, and you can upgrade from there. I mean, we've heard a lot about new enhancement in technology, and you got to do the math. It's not more like the Best Buy effect where you're going to go to the store, to either Richard or Nick's store, wherever you are in the country, and touch and feel and educate yourself, and go online and just buy it for the cheaper price. You got to make sure this is the right equipment for you. Or how is it going to save me? Yeah, it's $15,000. I think they cut it by Combi oven today. They were roughly around $16,000 for the largest one. But if it's going to save you hours, countless hours every week, as we know, minimum wage or even the cook wages are going up. So you got to look to do math on that. If it's going to cook at a lower heat where you're not going to have to run the air conditioning all night also, you got to all these factors into probably this piece of equipment are usually good for 8 to 15 years.
And Eric, the thing about a restaurant that's already up and running is that it's already been tested. You can go in and see what the problems are and change out one piece of equipment for $10,000 or $15,000. But if you design an entire kitchen from scratch and then you test drive it and you realize, oh my gosh, I should have located the refrigeration over there and the cooking equipment over here, you're having to rip up and tear some. That's like tearing out walls when you hire somebody to buy your house. And you know what happens then? The price goes up.
Yeah, this is a true story. I'm working with a client right now and wants to buy an Italian restaurant somewhere in the Southeast. And he says, they don't have a pizza oven that I like. And the old owner had this different piece, so he measured where the piece would be, and he's just going to buy that one piece of equipment, but he's buying an entire fully equipped restaurant, tables, chairs, all the cooking equipment, fryers, hoods, ventilation, electric, everything, for less than $99,000.
And it's open and operating. It's got sales and cash flow.
And it's got sales almost $400,000. You're right.
Yeah. So, see, that's where we did a whole chapter in our book, Appetite for Acquisition, on whether you should buy it or build it when you're starting a new restaurant. Listening to this discussion, it's pretty easy to see. The answer is buy it, even if it's not perfect. I know this sounds like you and your mom and dad were telling you to buy a used car to begin with and save up, but you really should get into this business at a slower pace instead of going all in and spending $350,000 to $400,000. Buy something smaller, develop it, then sell it and go to the next thing.
Yeah, you can update as simple as your flat top. We were at a one of the shows, at many shows that Robin and I attend, food service show. I forgot where it was, somewhere in the country, and they had this very low heat flat top. You literally put your hand almost on it. That's a low heat, and they use that in the Navy on boats and everything. We know it's already hot because it's huge piece of steel sitting in the middle of the ocean, beating in the sun, and you can buy this for like $2,000. So you can upgrade one piece at a time as you want, then to reach new efficiencies and do the cost saving. So it's a huge advantage to be able to do that and talk with people like Richard and Nick that are knowledgeable and will recommend the right piece of equipment. That's also important. Not just something that you think it's really cool, that you like or looks good for your kitchen. It's something that's going to actually pay for itself over a period of time.
And let's talk about some of the, just to give you an idea of what we call in the business asset sales. So what that means is you're literally buying the furniture, fixtures, and equipment. It's maybe not a successful restaurant today, but it's, for example, we have one. It's fully equipped. It has tons of equipment. There's a hood with a fire suppression system, the booth, the tables, the chair. There's a fish cooler, reach-in refrigeration, the prep tables, all those things that Nick was describing that would add up to that $300,000 price tag, brand new. Even includes the POS system, the camera system, and small wares, even the coffee pot. All of that, $29,995. So to your point, 10 cents on the dollar.
That is a bargain for somebody. Do not call all at once, please. But this is a steal. We talk about something else, Dave. We did talk about food truck. Well, we do have a food truck, and Nick said, they cost a lot, and we've seen food trucks. Robin and I have visited some, went to some manufacturers and food trucks, and they can be up in the $300,000, $100,000 or more. We have a full truck right here. It's located in Atlanta, but it's got wheels, so you can drive it. If you're in Florida, or if you are in Chicago, or if you're in California, you can take it wherever you want and make it your own in your own area. And this thing is fully equipped. I mean, it's a 2006, a 16-foot truck, and it's got the all the fixing that you need: prep tables, brand new air conditioning, 6-foot exhaust hood. It's very clean. It's got the plated floor, insulated vinyl. It is fully compliant for food service. You can buy this truck. It's got prep coolers, fridge, everything for $85,000.
Unbelievable. And you know what? That's not the only food truck we have for sale. I don't think you know this, but we have another one. It just came on the market in Florida. The difference in this one, it's approximately the same thing. It's in great condition. It's been serviced well over the time period that it's been in business. 26.5 foot long from front to rear. I'm not driving it anytime soon. This one's on the market for $149,000. But the difference is, Eric, this one has a space in a office building there. They do sales of $4,500 a week. So you're not only in business immediately, but you're in business and you're already doing sales of $4,500 a week. And that one is only $149,000.
What a deal.
We don't even have time to tell you all the great listings that we have for sale. You're talking to Eric and Robin Gagnon. If you want to know more about our listings, just go to WeSellRestaurants.com. We are the industry experts on restaurants for sale, and I want to ask you to join us each week on this station. Remember, we're franchising nationwide and have offices in Florida, Colorado, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Georgia. This is Eric and Robin Gagnon, and we are the Restaurant Brokers.